Extent. Noun. Singular. Uncountable. 1. How large, important, serious, etc. something is. It is difficult to assess the full extent of the damage. She was exaggerating the true extent of the problem. I was amazed at the extent of his knowledge. 2. The physical size of an area. You can't see the full extent of the beach from here. Extra examples. At its greatest extent, the empire comprised most of western France. He had withdrawn from the company of his friends to an alarming extent. I will answer your questions about this case to the extent possible. People no longer live in small communities to the same extent as they used to. The government sought to break down the extent of the problem. The network had reached its greatest extent in route mileage. The operation revealed the extent of the cancer. The overall extent of civilian casualties remained unclear. The park is about 20 acres in extent. The pollution of the forest has seriously affected plant life and, to a lesser extent, wildlife. The victory underlined the extent to which Prussia had become a major power. Those figures actually understate the extent of the problem. To an extent, East-West distrust continued throughout the war. To an extent, to some degree, East-West distrust continued throughout the war. To some extent, we are all responsible for this tragic situation. We do not yet know the extent of her injuries. A lengthy agenda outlining the extent of global environmental problems. A statement defining the extent of Latvia's territory. To reduce the extent of deforestation. He had changed to such an extent that I no longer recognized him. The book discusses the extent to which family life has changed over the past 50 years. The island is 300 square kilometers in extent. To some extent, what she argues is true. To what extent is this true of all schools? You can't see the full extent of the beach from here.